Hello, curious minds, and welcome back to Enigmatic Echoes. I'm your host, Jazz. Quick question. If your walls started bleeding, are you staying? Because I'm not. I don't care how good the location is. I don't care if it's rent controlled. I don't even care if the ghosts are polite. If my walls started producing their own crime scene, I'm out. But someone in Amsterdam didn't leave. And whatever happened inside that house never did either. Let's get into it. To understand this legend, we need to step into Amsterdam, around the 1600s during the Dutch Golden Age. This was a time of wealth, trade, expansion. Ships arrived daily carrying spices, fabrics, and goods from across the world. And lining the canals were tall, narrow homes, built upwards instead of outwards, because taxes were based on width. So the richer you were, the taller your house became. But behind some of those beautiful canal homes were stories that didn't belong in daylight, and one of them became known as Het Bloodhouse, the Bloodhouse. The exact location is debated, but many tie the legend to the areas near Oude Zijds Voorburg Wall, or Warmoestraat, some of the oldest, busiest parts of Amsterdam, crowded, loud, full of life, which made what happened inside this house even harder to ignore. The house belonged to a wealthy merchant. His name changes depending on the telling: Hendrik van der Vulde or Peter de Wit. But every version agrees he was powerful, successful, and not well liked. He dealt in high-value goods, luxury trade, and like most men in his position, he had rivals, enemies, and a reputation for being harsh, short-tempered, and unforgiving. He lived with servants, a maid, a cook, an apprentice. The house was always active. Records were being kept, goods being tracked, shipments coming and going. But beneath the routine, there was tension, because people didn't feel safe around him. They obeyed him, but they didn't trust him. And then, one morning, everything changed. The maid entered the study to clean. Nothing unusual, until she looked at the walls. Dark red streaks ran down the plaster, not splattered, not accidental, dragged, heavy, deliberate. She wiped it with a cloth and froze. The fabric turned crimson and the smell hit her. Metallic, sharp blood. She screamed. When the merchant saw it, he didn't panic. He got angry, demanded it be cleaned immediately. So they scrubbed, buckets, soap, hands shaking, and eventually the walls were clean again. But the next morning, the stains came back. Same place, same pattern, fresh, like they had just appeared. That's when the rumors started, because in a place like Amsterdam, nothing stays quiet. Servants talked, neighbors listened, and theories formed. Some said he killed a business partner. Others said a servant disappeared. But everyone agreed on one thing. Something happened inside that room, something violent, and it wasn't finished. Now, the stains won't stop. The merchant tried everything: repainting, new plaster, fresh walls. Didn't matter. The stains came back, bleeding through the surface like something underneath, refusing to stay hidden. Then came the sounds. Footsteps, slow, measured, always near the study. Doors opening slightly when no one touched them. And that feeling like you're not alone, even when you are. The first encounter was with the maid. One night, the maid walked past the study. The door was slightly open. Inside, someone was standing near the wall, still. She assumed it was the merchant, until the light shifted. The figure was covered in red, head to toe, and when it turned toward her, its face was pale, empty, wrong. She dropped the candle, and when she looked again, the room was empty. The second encounter was with the apprentice. The apprentice stayed longer than most, trying to be rational, trying to prove nothing was wrong, until one night, he heard something downstairs, a dragging sound, slow, heavy. He went to check. The study door was open. Inside, a trail of fresh blood leading across the floor to the wall, and then nothing. It just stopped. No body, no explanation. The third encounter was in the kitchen. The cook didn't believe any of it until one evening, she heard footsteps behind her. Close, deliberate. She turned. No one there. Then something brushed past her, cold, damp, and on the table, a handprint appeared, dark red, forming in front of her. And the merchant? He started changing, stopped sleeping, started talking to himself, arguing with something no one else could see, locking himself inside the study for hours, sometimes days. And when asked what was wrong, he reportedly said, "It's still here." The most common explanation, well, he killed someone, a business partner, during an argument. And instead of reporting it, he hid the body in the walls, under the floor, somewhere inside the house. But the blood didn't stay hidden. Eventually, the house became empty, servants gone, business abandoned, and the merchant, he disappeared. Some say he fled, some say he died inside, but no official record confirms what happened to him. The house didn't keep its reputation quietly. People avoided it. New occupants didn't stay long. Reports claimed the stains returned, even years later, and sometimes people said they saw a figure inside, standing near the wall, waiting. Now, is this a fact or a folklore? Now, here's where we ground ourselves. There is no confirmed historical record proving this exact story happened. No documented blood-bleeding house, no verified murder tied to it, which means this is likely a folklore legend built from real fears. Because Amsterdam in the 1600s, well, violence happened, people disappeared, crimes went unreported, and stories like this filled in the silence. But here's the part that sticks with me. Not the blood, not even the sightings, it's this idea that some places don't forget what happened inside them. The walls can hold memories, and sometimes those memories don't stay buried. So if you ever find yourself in Amsterdam, walking along those beautiful canals, and you pass a house that feels off, just keep walking. No curiosity, no investigating, no, let me check one thing, because the moment your Airbnb starts bleeding, that's not your stay anymore. That's your exit. Thank you for listening to Enigmatic Echoes. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe. And if you've ever experienced something you couldn't explain, I'd love to hear it. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and maybe don't trust the walls. Have a good night.